Good morning, teacher. Are you busy? I would like you to help me with something.
Hello, Mimi. Well, right now, I am waiting for my students, but I have some minutes.
Excellent. I know that if I want to speak as a native English speaker, I have to practice a lot. But there is also something really important. I have to think in English, right? I mean, if I want to speak English fluently, I have to think only in English. Is that correct?
Well, yeah. It is important to think in English to speak advanced English.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Everyone says we have to think in English, but they don't say how to do it. That's why I need your help. I need you to tell me. How can I think in English, teacher? But there is also something really important. I have to think in English, right? I mean, if I want to speak English fluently, I have to think only in English. Is that correct?
Oh, that's a very good question. And you're right. Teachers usually want you to think in English, but they never tell you how to do it. All right, Mimi. I will help you. First, be honest with yourself and answer the following question truthfully. Do you have to translate everything you hear or say in your head instead of processing it in English? Well, stop doing that. It's not effective for you. When you can think in English, you can process language more quickly and participate in conversations more easily. The first thing you have to do if you really want to start thinking in English is surround yourself with English. And it doesn't mean you have to live in an English-speaking country. Of course not. Although, if you can do it, then that's great. You can do it by giving yourself time every day, where you only hear and see English. You can start with 5 or 10 minutes every day, and then move up to 30 minutes, an hour or more. Whatever you can manage. There are many activities you can do in order to surround yourself with English. For example, listen to music in English, watch videos in English, movies in English, podcasts. And you don't have to sit down to study these things. You can play a video while cooking or taking a shower. Also, you don't need to understand everything the video says. The important thing is to immerse yourself in the language. Surround yourself with English is something very important, and students don't do it. I've had a lot of students who say they want to think in English, but they don't even have their CC Liao phone set to English. As you do this, you can do any or some of the following. Passively listen. Repeat words you hear or see. Repeating words and phrases gets you to activate new vocabulary so you can start using it fluently. By only seeing and hearing English, you start to move away from translation to thinking in English. Also, learn vocabulary in phrases, not single words. It helps a lot. Our brains are pattern-matching machines that remember things put into context. If you memorize phrases more than just words, you will be able to answer with some expression. Another thing that works really well is only use words you know. Also important. When speaking in English, sometimes students want to express an idea but lack the vocabulary. So they go and look it up in a dictionary. This is one way to build vocabulary, but it doesn't build fluency. A great way to improve fluency and to start thinking in English is to only use words you know when speaking. Does it sound simple? Yes, it is simple. By not having to struggle with new words or looking for translations, you can focus just on fluency. Also, because you are using words you already know, you never need to translate. You just practice using the words you know in sentences and conversations. When you come across an idea you want to express, but you lack the words, you must find a way round it just using the words you know, or give up the idea and say something else. This is crucial. I have seen many students wanting to express their ideas with advanced vocabulary. Vocabulary they don't know, but they still want to use. That makes the conversation less fluid. And do not misunderstand me. I am not telling you don't learn advanced vocabulary. Of course not. In fact, we teach advanced words and phrases here in this channel. But if you already know the words to give your opinion, then just do it. Try to look for more complicated words. Another common technique to start thinking in English is to see an object and say the word to yourself in English. You see this picture above, and you say to yourself the words that you see and know. For example, these are plants. Green plants in a beautiful garden. I would like to have a garden like this. Again, don't start looking up new words. Just say, in your head, the words you know. You can do this whenever you have a minute or two of dead time. For example, when you're in a waiting area, you're waiting for your lunch, or maybe you're just relaxing on your couch. Instead of having a picture, you just look around yourself and say, in your head, what you see. Yeah, one of the most useful methods to think in English. And this is all about talking to yourself. Talk to yourself all the time. Whatever you're doing, say it out loud. If you can, of course. Such as saying, that's a silly hat. When you see your neighbor in the street. When cooking, I need 2 eggs. Where are they? Here they are. Now I put in some milk. When you're taking a shower, the water is very cold. I wish this water was a little warmer. Whatever you want to say, just say it. The important is you do it every single day. And there are more things you can do to think in English, but my students are about to come.
I really appreciate your help, teacher. I'll do what you told me to think in English.
Great! And if you want more tips to think in English, like the video and comment. Have a nice day.
I hope you liked this conversation. If you also want more tips about learning English, please let us know in the comments and like this video and share with your friends and subscribe this channel for more.